Alright, hi guys, it's Nelena, and I'm doing this video because I thought I should tell you guys what happened. If you don't already know, I was in a car accident. Obviously none of us died. I wasn't driving. One of my guy friends was driving us. We were on the turnpike. He was going 70 miles per hour, and those of you who know, the speed limit is 50. I was asleep in the back seat until I felt the car swerve a little bit, and he ended up crashing into the big divider, which is made of cement. So we crashed into a cement wall and then hit those big signs that I don't know, it was a huge sign, and we crashed right into it. My neck ended up snapping, and I went deaf in my left ear for a little bit. I couldn't hear, I was confused, I was shaking. I had a little damage in the chest area and below my stomach, like my waist. Other than that, I had bruises around my neck and my arms and my shoulders. They're gone right now, but they still hurt. I'm really sore still, and it happened 4 days ago. It was really scary. After the car crashed and hit the wall, the car's filled with white smoke, and the driver was knocked out by the airbag. He completely passed out. What had happened was, on the way coming from Kent, because we went to go for a concert, and I was with the band their band is called, well, I don't think I should say their names, never mind. But they were performing that night, and so I was with them, and the driver fell asleep at the wheel. He claimed to be sober, so we let him drive. So that is what happened. So yeah, just thought I'd say it, to sum it up really shortly. And I'm okay. I went to the hospital. One of the guys that was in the back seat with me, he was out of it, but he ended up splitting his eyebrow right here, and he was bleeding, not badly, but still. None of us had our seatbelts on except for the driver and the guy in the passenger seat. I didn't have my seatbelt on, and I usually always have my seatbelt on. But the one time I don't have my seatbelt on is the moment car crashed and I had whiplash and severe muscle strain. Now when I get in the car, it sticks with me. He put on Facebook, not a day goes by when I don't remember that night. And it's true. When something big like that happens to you, you see it on TV and everything, you're like, oh my god, that's terrible. But when you're in the car, it's a completely different story. Your life could have been taken from you within a split second. I thought I died, and I was crying. I wasn't crying, but I was so shaken up, and I was worrying so much. I was thinking, oh my god, what if we're still in that car? Because we were standing on the side of the road, but I kept looking at the car what if we're still in there? And the weirdest thing was that the other guy that was in the passenger seat had said the same thing, but I didn't say it out loud. That was the weird part. He was saying what I was thinking, which scared the crap out of me, because I'm like, oh my god, what if it's true? We're never going to see our families again. I'm never going to do anything in my life. The only things I've done was watch kids and go to school, watch kids and go to school. Maybe 4 or 5 concerts, but that was crazy, that your life can be taken from you in such a quick moment that you don't have time to think about your family. You don't have time to think, oh my gosh, is everything okay? What's going to happen? You're thinking, is this really happening? The last moments that would have been the last moments of my life, the only thing I could think about was what's happening at that moment. And it was really scary, because I remember in my sleep, like I said, I fell asleep on the way there, and I felt the car swerve a little bit, but then it would go straight. So I'm like, okay, maybe I don't know. I'm so tired. I can't think straight. I can't wake up. I'm so tired. I'm so out of it. I wasn't drinking. I was sober that night. I know, can't speak for the other guy that was in the backseat with me, but things happen. He was going 70 on a 50, and he ended up going into the other lane and then crashing into the cement wall. So the car was completely crushed, and it was really terrible and really bad. But probably one of the most scariest moments was when I don't know how to explain it. It's like while it was happening, I was watching it happen. As if I could see myself being like, I don't know, it was weird. It was as if they were like two of me, if that makes sense. Like as if I was watching myself go through the accident. Like I saw myself, and that part terrified me because I'm thinking like, oh my god, what? It was really confusing. And after a while, like I know that I was blanking out. Like I've never blacked out before, but it's like right when the car hit, like everything went black, and then you would see the car move again, and then it would go black, and everything went white. It was a lot of things happening, and a lot of at the same time you're trying to figure out what's happening, who's okay. I thought that the driver had died. He was knocked out by the airbag, and he was laying like with his head like hung, like, you know, I thought he was dead. And again, I was so terrified that I couldn't really cry. Like crying was just I was so scared I couldn't cry. It was really crazy. But I guess what I'm trying to say is just, you think that these things cannot happen to you. Before I left, my grandma and my mom, they're just like, be careful, be careful. You know, if he starts drinking, call me, I'll come pick you up. But we're in Kent. So it's like 2-hour drive from where I live. And it's like, okay, yeah. You know, I'll be safe. We do this all the time. But we were not prepared for what was to come that night. We wouldn't know that, almost said his name. We didn't know that the driver was going to fall, you know, asleep on the way there. We didn't know that we could have almost lost our lives. Thankfully, we did not crash into any other people. There was practically like no cars on the turnpike that day. I remember that the driver was saying that he didn't even want to take the turnpike, but he was listening to the GPS because he wanted to get me home on time. The GPS told him to make, you know, a turn and go back. He was like, why is it taking me this way? And he listened to it, and he was regretting everything. When the car crashed, he just pacing back and forth, cursing and talking about how he had so much plans and everything else like that. That's all he could think about was his plans for the future. We wouldn't have even had a future if we wouldn't have lived, like, obviously. And then she's like, wait, you were in the... Didn't do much. But I guess it was my fault for not wearing a seatbelt. And yes, I went to the hospital. They gave me 2 different kinds of medication. Diagnosed with muscle something and whatever it was, whiplash and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm fine. I'm just really, really sore. And now I have essays due on Tuesday, so back to school life. You know, it's one of those things. Almost died, but you know, gotta pick it up, suck it up, and go to school. My life. Well, I hope I didn't get you guys down too much. And I tried to make this video super, super short, but that didn't happen. And I'm sorry. But, okay, I'm going to let you guys go before I hit, like, the 13-minute mark. Or am I already on there? No. Okay, we're good. So, I just wanted to say, you know, that stuff. Just want to keep you guys up to date and everything. So, without further ado, bye. This is a real photo that I took during that night. The car was crushed in the front and everything was pretty much broken. But yeah, so that's the picture.
It's been a while, I should be moved on, 'cause I shouldn't be writing you this song. Haven't crossed my mind for so long, but tonight you're the movie I wanna leave on. Not enough rooms in this house to hold all the treasures we found. Evidence of us all around, your fingerprints all over who I am now. Ooh, we wished on these stars they were ours. They remind me of you. I'm still letting you go. I just want you to know that I think of you, think of you.